What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Weezy. Welcome to Jay Weezy's World. Boy, look at the smooth right now. Got the fresh cut. I got the headband on. I'm in the whip. I'm headed to the gym right now. So let's go ahead and check in. It is Monday, December 29th. It is 5:18 in the evening, and I'm headed to the gym. So I'm actually peeling back the second layer of the onion with Track Club Fitness. So my game plan was, if you saw my previous, I think it was a back day video, back and biceps, I hit Track Club Fitness and it was a Saturday. And now what I'm doing is, like, if I'm really gonna sign up, I want to see how it is on a typical weekday. And so I'm headed there now. Again, prime time for what you would expect at a commercial gym, for it to be packed. Obviously this is more of a private public gym, and so I want to see how it is on your typical work day, and again, help it make my choice. Now I will say they put a little bit of pressure on me, and what I mean by that is, when I was out in Chicago, no, it's actually over the weekend when I just got back, they sent me a text message, a little automated message or whatever, and they were like, hey, if you sign up by end of year, right, though, end of, like, I guess beginning of year or end of year, like, promotion, they sent me a promo code that instead of it being $100 for a single person, it'll be $75, and instead of it being $175 for, because you could do either yourself and you could bring a friend, which you get the validated parking just for yourself, one key fob to get in because it's 24 hours, or which is basically they have to go with you, right? Or you could do two people and it's usually $175, they drop it down to $130. So I'm like, I might do that. So I'm gonna see how the wife likes it, so she'll be joining me at some point, but I have a few days to kind of make that decision. And if it's light tonight, not light, but like I'm able to get my workout in without being waiting too long, like if it's right, it's right, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and sign up, but we'll see. And what I'm doing right now is just kind of estimating how long is it gonna take me from when I'm getting from the house to the gym, right? What's that ride like? Because some days I'll be going from the office, some days I'll be going from the house. So I'm kind of seeing how the traffic is. So there's a couple things that, I'm weighing here as far as like the convenience. I don't mind taking a little 10-15 minute drive, but if that 10-15 minutes turns into 30 or 40 because of traffic, is there another option that might be a little bit more convenient? So we'll see how downtown Phoenix is. I think the outskirts are going to be fine, but we'll see as we get down there. But quick check-in, a quick update. I want to talk about a couple things. I'm not going to ramble on too long, but I want to talk about a couple things. So first of all, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. And, obviously the niche for this channel is predominantly, trying to lose weight, right? Weight loss, fitness. But the way I kind of view this is that it is Jay Weezy's world. I did that with intention because it kind of, I highlight a few things, right? Whether if it's meal prep, which is still associated to weight loss, but the vlogging, what have you, and I want to do more of it. And so, and not that I'm doing things all the time, but I just want to explain that it's not always just going to be, me hitting the gym or something that's weight loss related. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. It seems to be, it seemed to do pretty well. I had some good feedback, a lot of my short clips on like TikTok, what have you, and so on. So anyways, so I just want to kind of explain that it is Jay Weezy's world. So there are going to be a few other things outside of the gym that you guys will see, and hopefully you guys are cool with that. So, but also with that, I haven't hit my lifts in about a week and a half. So just before we went to Chicago. And here's the thing. First of all, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna sit here and like make an excuse. So before we get to Chicago, I talked to the wife and I'm like, hey, when you're packing, are you taking anything for the gym? And she's like, like, what do you mean? Like, kind of like, I kind of tell the response like, well, you're gonna hit the gym while we're out there. And she doesn't have a problem with that. I think just for me in my younger years, I've made decisions where I kind of prioritize what I want to do, and I've learned kind of like you know, when we take our trips, or like we'll still hit the like hotel gym, what have you. But this kind of felt different, where it was like I'm working so much, she's working so much, that it was really just about like whatever we could do to kind of maximize what we're doing out in Chicago. And not that I couldn't hit the gym, but you're talking about whether if it's a half-hour quick little session, hour, what have you, and so on. Like there's still other time that's like she's having to do other things either without me that she's experiencing, or she's waiting on me at the hotel, which at the end of the day, like it's not I'd rather spend quality time with her in a place that we've never been to, and I don't regret it at all. You know, didn't go out there and do anything crazy as far as the, you know, wasn't eating all day, this and that. Like, yeah, we had some good dinners. Like, first of all, the place that we stayed at, it's called London House. I think I might have mentioned that. But it's called London House. It's right in the center of downtown Chicago. I'll put a little like Google map like right here. And everything that we went to was within like a half mile to a quarter mile. And every day we were doing something. And if I remember correctly, because I said I would bring it up, is the total steps we took was like 56,300 to 300 to 400, something like that. So it was like 27 or 28 miles we walked. And so based on proximity, like we were doing it to it. Like if we sat there and we ate, we got up, we walked. I mean, we hit the museums, we hit the boat tour, we hit everything that we could, and I feel like we barely scratched the surface. So the plan is to go back. You know, right now we're kind of in that honeymoon stage, and I say that because it's just a different vibe. Phoenix is great. I've been out here for a good portion of my life. If you didn't know, I'm originally from Los Angeles, so I came out here when I was young, you know, a little bit back and forth, but out here. And so oh, what are they doing with this? Finally doing something with this Dutch Bros. I'm not a Dutch Bro person, but there's like a Dutch Bros that's in downtown Phoenix that like they closed and everybody went nuts. But anyways, so it was just, I love the city, and the plan is next time we go out there to get outside of downtown to see what the other parts of the city looks like and so on. And it was beautiful, the architecture, everything that's involved with it. But so I felt good about staying active while we were out there, but I'm not gonna lie, like, again, this is kind of where the selfishness comes in. So like, even when we got back, it's like, okay, first of all, like, am I gonna just jump up and get back to the gym? Like, let me spend this quality time with the wife and my family during Christmas. Let me keep things pretty much balanced. And then, because even yesterday on Sunday, I was ready to get up and go hit the gym. I'll do meal prep when I get home tonight, But the plan, because I'm doing a push-pull legs, basically. Like, you know what? Let me just start everything fresh. Start the 12-week program over, because I had just started it before I went to Chicago. Let's restart that, because it is a 12-week program. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's get it started on Monday, because the program accounts for Sunday being an off day. And for me, Sunday is definitely an important day. Like, I love going to the gym on Sunday, but I do know the value of being able to meal prep early in the morning on Sunday, being able to reset and get set for the work week, because I do have a very mentally taxing job, and I love my job, but it can be mentally taxing often. And so if I can kind of get my mind right on Sunday and get prepared for the work week, great. And so I just didn't want I have a habit of feeling anxious where I need to just do things now, and I'm not very patient with certain things. And so I wanted to draw in a little patience and just say, you know what, let me get everything I need to get done during the work week, because if I don't get these things done on Sunday, it's going to trickle down to the rest of the work week, you know, where I'm rushing or I'm staying up late, what have you, I'm not getting my sleep. And so all that being said, back at it, I feel good. And again, hopefully you guys are liking the content, trying to stay active. And but moreover, the biggest thing is getting in the gym, not even recording, just getting in the gym and getting back to it. And because I definitely feel it's easy once you get into the momentum of not going to just start not going in general. And so I don't want to break that momentum. It was a nice break, being able to get out there, spend some time with the wife, much earned time. You work hard, you play hard. But I'm going to see how the gym is now. I should be there in about 10 minutes or so. Forgive me for the rant, but I will check in with you guys and let you know what it's looking like. But today, the workout, sorry. Today is what is it? Hold on. Look at my phone. And I know it is at the top of my head. It is a push day. So we got some, again, depending on what the equipment is available, supposed to be, and this is a more of a high volume program, right? And so got some incline bench press, flat dumbbell press, some flies, side lateral raise drop sets, overhead press, front raises, upright dumbbell, upright rows, close grip bench, or something that's close compounding for the tricep extensions, and then overhead dumbbell extensions. We'll see if they have the dumbbells, or I might go to cable, right? You can alternate and do different things, but overall it is a push day. I'm excited about it. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go hit up their cardio, because that's another piece that I want to see, is that how is their cardio equipment on a busier day. I would assume a busier day because it's Monday, peak time, because they have 5 or 6 treadmills, a couple of bikes, and then like 6 or 7 Stairmasters. And so I like to see what's available. And I'll be just transparent, like, I'm not doing the Stairmaster. It's not because I don't want to. I'm very mindful of the fact that I'm a bigger guy, and so I'll do that once I start to lose more weight. But I'm not blowing out my joints to do the Stairmaster. Let me get the weight down, then do that. So it's just, I'm not going to take the short-term gain for long-term issues. And I'm assuming things, but I'd rather just play it safe, hit the treadmill, hit the bike, whatever it is, get my cardio in. And I'll show you guys, if you guys care, as far as what my macros are looking like and what the cardio expectation is throughout the week. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see that. But I'm headed there now. I'll check in with you guys here in a minute. All right, it is push day. Your boy is back in the gimnasio. The boy is back in the gimnasio. So let's go ahead and make these sweet gains. I hope you don't have a sweet tooth, because if so, the video is going to satisfy you. All right, so getting things started off with the flat bench press. Now, it was supposed to be incline, and I haven't done flat barbell, I should say, in a minute. So I'm like, you know what? The incline was taken next to me, and with the dude to the left of me, who first of all was putting up 3 wheels and a 10 each side. Boy, it was getting it. Like, you know what? Let me go. Do not disturb. I'm not working with that. Let me go ahead and mosey on over to the flat. So everything you guys are going to see is going to be 4 sets. I didn't record 4 sets for each movement, but just know it is 4 sets per movement. It is high volume on this 12-week training program for these push-pull legs. So getting things started off with some stretches, of course, warming up with the barbell, and usually I'll do about 10 to 12 repetitions, and then little side-to-side movements to kind of stretch out the pectoral, and get a nice stretch before I actually get into my work-in sets. Now, the Arsenal bar felt different. I don't know, again, I'm not trying to overdo it. I don't know if it was like, hey, a lack of, I wasn't hitting my carbs today, and so maybe I was feeling a little bit weaker. Altogether, I would say that the weight just felt a bit heavier. So I didn't want to do too much, so I said, hey, let me go ahead and throw a big girl on each side and start off with 135 and see how I'm feeling. And as you can see right here, I mean, it seems like everybody saw, hey, Jay Weezy's in the building, let's dap him up. Jay Weezy's here. I'm just kidding. Everybody was super legit in there and super supportive of each other. And so, gonna get things kicked off with the 135. And to be honest with you, when I got in this first set, I was like, cool, feeling really good. Getting that stretch out, bang out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was like, oh, 8, pause. 9,
10. So, actually, the rep range was 8 to 10. Actually, I'm sitting there looking at my Excel. So I was like, hold on, misspoke there. So went ahead and threw a dime on each side. So now I'm up to 155. And again, I was PRing the 225 on incline. Again, it's different. It's a different angle. Like, I don't care what anybody says, is that, um, first of all, again, being out the gym the last week and a half, I think that kind of caught up to me. Maybe, maybe not. But it just felt like this 155 was punishing me. Again, I was getting it up, so I wasn't struggling with it. And no, I don't want to just put up, ego lift and just strain out getting, 2, 3 reps. Let me finish my full rep range and really beat up this chest because that's the goal, is that no matter what I'm lifting, the point is to put that tension and pressure on the chest or whatever it is I'm working out. A little bit of a different angle right here. And um, first of all, I like the way the gym's looking. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Aesthetically, it's nice. Again, maybe people might criticize me saying that, but I just think that you pay for what you get. I like the way it looks. I like the setup, and this is actually going to be my last set that I'm recording. And I wasn't counting, but I think I got like maybe 8 or 9 reps up, and I was toast. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead, move on. And to be honest with you, I mentioned maybe earlier in the video or later, I was trying to fill things out, working my way my first push day inside this gym. So now moving on over to this machine, it is obviously for flies. Now, I've never used this before, so I think with everything, especially like this to start off with, the first um, the first round or two is me more so filling it out. So if you could see there, I just have a 10 on there where I really just wanted to fill out how is it moving with my body. Is it because when I noticed it honestly kind of just works with me. It wasn't really forcing me to do much. Let me correct myself. It was making sure I squeezed at the top. You kind of do whatever you want with it, but it just was so smooth, like some creamy peanut butter. I'm being ridiculous now. But went ahead and threw a 25 on each side on top of that 10, so 35 pounds. Again, nothing crazy. Honestly, if I was doing incline dumbbell, I mean, I'm probably knocking out 50s, 55s. And so for me, like, I appreciate the fact that with it being 35 pounds, camera check, a little different angle. With it being 35 pounds on each side and feeling that nice stretch, I was loving it. And so, again, I was a kid in a candy store just playing with new toys. Um, I'm sure you guys have been there. You guys have worked at a new gym, um, and so for me, I just wanted to kind of figure my way through, and again, really dive into the equipment head first to really kind of see, if I'm liking it, if I'm not liking it. They had 2 pec decks over to the left of me. I've done the pec deck plenty of times, and so I'm like, you know what? Let me try something different and see how this feels. You can't really expand your horizons a little bit. You can't really just stick to the same equipment. There's nothing wrong with that if you're getting results, but you might, if you drive in a different car, you might end up liking that whip, and you might want to test drive that a little bit more. So, um, moving over to the incline dumbbell press, and so for these, I'm usually getting up the about 70, between 70 and 80. I'm rocking with the 60s right here, and they felt good. Honestly, I was feeling a nice pressure, getting them up, getting them down. And this area, as far as the gym goes, I probably want to say between these benches and the dumbbells and the tricep kind of area over there behind me to the right. I would say this is probably like the busiest area. And let me know your guys' thoughts. Like, I don't think it was crazy busy. Just my opinion. Like, it wasn't people just flowing back and forth, what have you. Now, one thing I will say as far as what I noticed is that the bench that I was at, there was actually like a dip in the floor right there. So, for me, I probably should have moved it off to a different side. Probably not the safest thing. That was the one observation that I had today. Again, I'm not going to cry about it, just an observation. I probably didn't even need to mention it to you guys. But, it is something that I did notice. But with this, the benches, this bench, and the flat dumbbell bench press, I did notice that the benches sit a bit higher, so my feet aren't off the ground. My toes are touching pretty smoothly and pretty good, but it is a bit different, short king problems. So now I'm moving over to the side laterals, and I'm going to do a triple drop set. If you don't know what a triple drop set is or a drop set, I'm going to start off with the beginning weight, do 10 to 12 repetitions or whatever your rep range is, and then I'm going to drop the weight, do another 10 to 12 repetitions, and then drop the weight, doing 4 sets of this. Again, that is volume being put into these boulders that I call shoulders. And so, honestly, I've never used this piece of equipment before. And what you'll kind of notice is I kind of scoot back and forth because, again, it's like with the handles is like, is it going to come directly to my side? Is it going to kind of come down in more of a shrugging starting position? And so, again, the first set or two, they feel good, but, do I go straight, um, you know, vertical with the top caps of my outside delts, or do I come down a little bit lower in degrees? And so, again, I'm just kind of filling it out, getting a dang good workout in, but really, again, kind of filling out the equipment. And so, um, honestly, I've seen this equipment in videos, and so I was kind of excited to try it out because I definitely could have went with the cable side lateral or the dumbbell side lateral. I'm like, nah, that thing is free. Your boy is jumping on, and I really want to see what it's about. Now, I did start off with 40 pounds, dropped it down to 30 pounds, and then dropped it down to 20 pounds. You can have more dramatic drops if you want. It really just depends on what you want to do. But again, not anything crazy as far as the weight goes, but it felt really good. And you guys, this is one thing I'll say is that if I was doing just the one work-in set per work-in set, if that makes sense, so not doing a triple, just doing a single, I probably went higher on the weight, right? You got to be mindful that you're doing, in my case, 30 plus repetitions. And so if you start off with a high weight, your typical work-in weight, unless you're dropping it dramatically, you're going to be burned. I'm already toast by the third set. So be mindful of the weight you guys are utilizing. So if you're new to the gym, you'll understand what I mean as you continue to work through your progress and being somebody who's new to the gym. And so again, I'm panting, sitting there just working through it. And honestly, I was in my head, I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and stop. And that's the thing about the mental aspect of this game is work through the mental issues and just your body can do more than what your mind wants to do. So moving on to some upright rows, and I decided to go ahead and use this bar because I do like to put my hands right in that dip so I can go ahead and just utilize the tips of my fingers or my fingers only to go ahead and just pull straight up. And I like to get a stretch at the bottom to where almost like I'm extending or I'm kind of doing like shrugs and go down slow and then pull up. So come down a little bit slower all the way down to where I'm kind of like pushing down almost. So it's not just coming down to my waist. I'm going a little bit below my waist or my belt line, I should say, for me, and then pulling back up. And so the rep range I hear, so it is between, I believe, 10 to 12 repetitions. And after doing those side laterals, man, these delts were ready to melt. And for me, I love doing anything related to delts or shoulders, whether if it's front raises, sides, working out those back delts. That is for me something that I pride myself in. And as I continue to chop this fat down, that I think is really going to fill out my frame with the shoulders, upper chest, triceps, and back. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I at least want to, when I get and lose weight, I want to just look like I work out, right? That's kind of the goal. I think everybody just wants to look like they work out. Not everybody, I shouldn't say that, but that's my goal. If I'm going to put in this work and I chop this fat down, I want to look like I'm working out. So, yeah, I get it, Wheezy. All right, so clearly I'm on to the cable tricep extension, and this was a unique rope, and well, I can't say unique, but What I will say is that it is a longer tricep extension. That's not just the camera angle. That's not just the GoPro making it look longer, in which I kind of dug it because I like to, when I'm doing tricep extensions, I actually like to back up a step and really get a full, like the more tension on the cable itself and then pull through the body if I can. So those felt really good. I love hitting triceps. How about you? The triceps? I mean, come on now, you hit those tries, 70% of your arms, so work out those tries, guys. All right, so going with overhead rope extensions, and I'm not gonna lie, like it wasn't a struggle, but man, I was feeling the burn with each one of these sets. And so the goal was 4 sets, which I got ranging from, I think it was 10 to 12 repetitions. Correct me, actually, you know what? For the tricep extensions, those were 12 to 14 reps. These were 10 to 12 repetitions, and I was feeling it. And this is the last set that I actually got on camera. And again, crowd were super cool. Had a really good workout. And I'll see you guys back in the whip.
All right, so I'm on the road now, back out of the parking lot. So let's talk about it. For a Monday, I gotta watch with the verbal crutches, ahs, so on and so forth. You know, that's in my profession, you have to really watch for that. But for some reason, when I kind of get into my own zone, I start doing that. Maybe it's probably the post-workout clarity. So International Chest Day, how was it at Track Club Fitness, and what are my thoughts? First of all, the commute was about 15 to 20 minutes because it's all road. I decided not to take any freeway, so about 15 to 20 minutes, not bad. Coming down, traffic wasn't crazy. Could be because it's still quote-unquote the holidays, but I don't think people really care about New Year's like that. But people are still off on PTO or personal time off, so you know, so I'll take that into account a little bit. But was it busier than I went on the Saturday? Yes. Was it packed? No. So for me, I kind of felt like, okay, this is the busiest. If this is the busiest it's gonna get, I'll take that. So because for me, I felt like, first of all, the leg area was pretty empty, right? The chest day, right? The chest and everything else was the busier part. And so but they have an upstairs too, so like with it being my second time there, I felt like as long as I kind of know where everything is, I'll be fine. But the one thing I'll say is, first of all, I am dog tired. Like, I got in the workout, I felt like the Arsenal equipment like is honestly heavier. That 45 is not the same 45. That 10 is not the same 10. And just the equipment itself, like, yeah, I was beat up. Like, I was beat up. And I also think, like, yeah, I'm just worn out. Anyways, so what I did notice, though, is there was a couple of dudes that came up to me and was like, hey, man, like, just gave me a dap or whatever. I'm like, okay. Like, didn't think much of it. But there was one dude that came up. He's like, are you trying to work in with me? Because I was kind of standing next to one of the tricep rope push downs. And really all I was doing was looking at my program and see what I was moving on to next, which... That's kind of the thing, is that because I was out of my element, quote unquote, like usually before I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I'm checking already on that next. And so because it's a new environment, I kind of felt like I was just a little off. Still a good workout, but I felt like just paying attention to others around me and looking to see where the equipment is, like, you know, I was just a little bit out of my element. So in your element, you're still trying to lose weight. How are you even in your element? I'm in my element, okay? Out of my element. You know what I mean? So anyways, but one dude, you know, when he asked, like, hey, do you want to work in? I was like, hold on. Like, I was like, oh, no. I felt like I kind of cut him off, and I felt kind of rude doing that, and I didn't mean to do that. So I actually went back up to him, and I was like, hey, man, like, I didn't mean to, you know, cut you off, because, like, if I'm going to start going there, like, I don't want to be that guy that's giving off bad energy. Like, that's just not me at all, and I don't want to do that to anybody. So I was like, hey, man, I didn't mean to cut you short. He's like, oh, no, man, no worries. You know, you seem like you're kind of, you know, just deciding what you're going to do next. And I was like, no, that's what it was. Like, I just didn't want to, you know, be rude. And he's like, no, man. He's like, you know, it's Monday. It's kind of a busier day. And he's like, I've never seen you in here before. Sometimes we'll see new faces. And, you know, when you walked in, I was like, huh. And he's like, so, you know, so I wanted to come up and meet you. And I'm like, oh, like, okay. So it just kind of just clicked to me, like, it's all the same usuals there and I like stuck out like a sore thumb, which is why the other dudes came up to me just jacked and stuff. It's real cool. Hey man, and I got my earbuds on. I feel bad because like I'm like, huh? But everybody was cool, introduced themselves. I mean, not the entire gym, but just the folks that were kind of around me, 3 or 4 different dudes or whatever, came up and just dabbed like, hey, just get it, boom. Like kind of, I'm done with my set. They come up, boom. And so I'm all right, cool. Like I appreciate the love. But will I end up signing up? I'm gonna talk to the wife. I really do like it. I feel like I can do what I need to do there. Again, one of the downsides though is I feel like there's not a ton of cardio equipment. Again, there's 5 treadmills there and 2 of them were down tonight. And so I was able to get on one because I got on the bike and I got on that. So I'm just, what I don't want to do is like, I know I need to get my cardio in, and what I don't want to do is just lift. Like cardio is going to be an important factor of my journey. And I don't want to just cardio it the hell up, but I need to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to burn calories. And so haven't made an official decision, but I am leaning towards yes. So I have a couple more days against the 29th. I got to decide by the 1st. And so I might check out something tomorrow after work. We'll see. But I'm dog tired. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. We're on the road to 200. My throat is a little bit dry and parched. I'm gonna head home because I got some stuff from Amazon I'm super excited about. And you guys might see it. So we'll see. You guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.